Your PM saw one demo on Twitter. Now they think the whole feature ships by Friday. Because, and I quote, the AI just does it now. I have been building software for over a decade. I have shipped machine learning features, glued together LLM pipelines, and sat in the meetings where someone who has never opened a terminal explains that AI has basically solved engineering. Here is what nobody tells you. AI did not make the hard parts disappear. It moved them. The demo is easy. The last 10% is where you live and die. But try explaining that to a product manager who just watched a 30-second clip of someone building an app by talking to their laptop. Suddenly, every estimate you give is met with the same wounded look. Can't the AI just do that? So today, I want to walk through 6 specific times a PM assumed AI would turn weeks of work into a one-day job. If you have lived any of these, you already know where this is going. Let's start with the phrase that begins every single one of these fights. Let's start with the sentence itself. Can't the AI just do that? It arrives in refinement, usually right after you have finished explaining why something is a 2-week job. The PM tilts their head, and out it comes, delivered with the confidence of a man who has just discovered fire. Here is the thing. That question is not really a question. It is a negotiation tactic dressed up as curiosity. What they are actually saying is, I have already promised this to someone upstairs, and I need your estimate to be smaller. AI is just the new lever they get to pull. 5 years ago it was, can't we use a library for that? Before that it was, can't we just copy how Stripe does it? Same move, new coat of paint. The problem is that AI genuinely can do some of it, which is exactly what makes the argument so sticky. Yes, the model can draft the email. No, it cannot own the retry logic, the rate limits, the audit trail, or the moment it confidently invents a refund policy that does not exist. When you say 2 weeks, and they say, can't the AI do it? You are not disagreeing about capability. You are disagreeing about what the word done actually means. The second one shows up the moment they see a working prototype. You wire up a quick proof of concept over an afternoon, hit the OpenAI API, get something on screen. The PM's eyes light up. If the demo works today, the feature ships tomorrow, right? This is the demo to production gap, and it is a canyon. The prototype hits the API once, with clean input on your machine, with you personally babysitting it. Production means concurrency, means someone pasting 14,000 words into a box built for a sentence, means the API timing out at 3 a.m. and your on-call engineer getting paged. It's basically just a ChatGPT wrapper is a sentence that quietly erases streaming, token limits, cost controls, caching, fallbacks for when the provider has an outage, and the small matter of not leaking customer data into a third-party model. The wrapper is the easy 10%. Everything wrapped around the wrapper is the job. I have watched a 2-day prototype turn into a 6-week hardening effort, and every single week of it was invisible to the person who saw the demo and mentally shipped it. The demo lies. It always lies. That is what demos are for. Number 3 is about a number that sounds amazing and means almost nothing. The model is 90% accurate. Great, ship it. Except 90% accurate means 1 in every 10 outputs is wrong. And in production, that is not a rounding error. That is a support queue. If you are classifying support tickets, fine. A wrong label is annoying. If you are approving transactions, or summarizing someone's medical notes, or auto-replying to real customers, that 10% is a lawsuit with a progress bar. Here is what the PM does not see. Getting from 90 to 95% is not 5% more work. It is often more work than the entire first 90 took. It means evils. It means labeled data. It means hunting down the specific weird failure modes where the model is confidently, beautifully wrong. And the last few percent might not be reachable at all with the current approach. Software people are used to deterministic systems where correct is correct. AI hands you a system that is usually right, and usually is the most expensive word in engineering. So 90% is not almost done. 90% is where the actual project begins. Here is one that gets the whole thing exactly backwards. Just let the AI handle the edge cases. The idea being that instead of writing careful logic for the messy scenarios, you throw them at a language model and let it figure it out. This sounds efficient. It is the opposite. Edge cases are precisely where you need determinism, and a language model is the least deterministic thing you have ever put in production. The happy path is the part AI handles well. The nightmare is the customer with an emoji in their legal name, the time zone that shifts mid-transaction, the input in a language nobody tested. AI does not remove that complexity. It hides it, and then surfaces it at the worst possible moment, in front of a real user, phrased as a fluent sentence that sounds completely trustworthy and is completely wrong. Now, you are not just handling edge cases. You are handling edge cases plus a black box that occasionally hallucinates its way through them. You have added a variable, not removed one. Every real AI feature I have shipped needed more guardrails around the edges, not fewer, because the model will cheerfully drive off any cliff you forget to fence. This next one is my favorite, entirely because of the word just. We'll just fine-tune it over the weekend, as if fine-tuning is a toggle buried in the settings menu. Let me tell you what that weekend actually contains. First, you need data, which means someone has to collect it, clean it, and label it. And there is never enough of it, and half of it is wrong anyway. Then you need an evaluation set, because otherwise, you have no idea whether your fine-tune made things better or quietly made them worse. Then you run it, discover the model now aces your examples and fails everything else, and start again. Fine-tuning is not a weekend. It is a data pipeline, an eval harness, and a feedback loop you maintain forever. Because the moment your product changes, your model drifts. And most of the time, you did not even need fine-tuning. You needed better prompts, or retrieval, or to just clean up your input. But we'll fine-tune it over the weekend sounds decisive in a roadmap meeting. And decisive is what gets people promoted. So the word just ends up doing an enormous amount of heavy lifting in that sentence. And finally, the one that reveals the whole misunderstanding. If the prompt isn't working, just ask it nicer. The belief that prompt engineering is a 5-minute job any adult can do, because it is only typing English. Here is why that is a trap. The same prompt gives you a different answer on Tuesday than it did on Monday. The provider silently updates the model, and your carefully tuned instructions quietly rot. You fix the prompt for one case and break 3 others you were not even looking at. Prompt engineering is real engineering. It needs version control. It needs a test suite. It needs someone tracking which change fixed what, because otherwise, you are just poking a slot machine and celebrating when it pays out. A PM sees you rewrite a single sentence and assumes the work is trivial. What they do not see is the 20 evals you ran to confirm that sentence did not silently degrade everything else. Just ask it nicer is how you end up with a prompt that is 4,000 words long, that nobody dares touch, and that one person on the team quietly prays over before every deploy. Here is the honest version. AI did not delete the hard parts of software. It relocated them. The demo got easier and the last mile got harder. And the gap between those two things is exactly where the arguments with your PM now live. None of this means AI is useless. It is genuinely incredible. It just is not magic. And one day, jobs are still mostly one-day jobs that turn into 3-week jobs the moment they meet reality. The most useful thing you can do is stop fighting the estimate and start naming the invisible work out loud. Say the word evals. Say the word guardrails. Make the 90% problem visible before it becomes a support queue. Your PM is not stupid. They just saw the demo. And the demo, as always, lied. If you have heard, can't the AI just do that at any point this week? You already know where the subscribe button is. And send this to the PM who needs it. Gently.